Some say CERN is just smashing particles to unlock the mysteries of the universe. Others, they say it's really smashing reality itself, from Mandela effects to hidden portals. Today, we're going to dive into the Large Hadron Collider and asking, what if they're not just searching for God particle, but maybe trying to play God? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Triple T Podcast. I am your host, Matt, and joining me as always is the one, the only mysterious, funny, charming Luther Grimwood.
Well, here I am. You can just imagine me tipping my invisible hat and stepping into the spotlight. I'm happy to bring a dash of mystery and a sprinkle of humor, no sugarcoating needed. Let's dive right into it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard the introduction or not. I'm sure you did because you hear everything, Luther. But we're gonna dive deep into the Large Hadron Collider, and I probably said it wrong because in my brain I was like, I got this, and then once the show starts and I press record, sometimes I mispronounce things. Sometimes it's on purpose. Sometimes it's so the comments can call me dumb.
Oh, absolutely. And hey, if we can't have a little fun with pronunciation, what's even the point of a big fancy particle smasher, right? So yeah, we're diving into the Large Hadron Collider, and trust me, whether we say it perfectly or we totally butcher it, the internet will let us know. So let's just roll with it and have some fun.
Absolutely. And before Luther, we can't get all of these amazing people an episode without giving them what we do, a drink recipe. So I think before we fire up the Collider, we fire up a drink. What do you think?
I think that's a genius call. I mean, you can't smash particles together without a little liquid inspiration, right? So let's concoct something. Maybe we call it the Collider cocktail. Just a little mix of curiosity, a splash of humor, and something that goes boom in a glass. Let's do it.
That's pretty good. I was thinking the particle collider, or collider, however you say it, but yours is pretty good. But either way, this is what we're going to put in. We're going to take 1.5 ounces of vodka, fixed vodka, Texas, pure, clean, friend of the show. 1 ounce of blue carousel, 1 ounce of cranberry juice, and then top it with a little bit of some Red Bull. Stir it up, and you get this wild mix of colors and energy like particles colliding at high speed. Garnish it with a twist of orange peel to represent the particle path, and boom, got yourself a drink that may or may not break reality.
I love it. We've basically invented a science experiment in a glass, and that's exactly the vibe. So yeah, we'll call it the particle collider or collider, however we want to say it. The name's half the fun. Toss all those ingredients together, give it a swirl, and you've got yourself a high energy, high color concoction. If that doesn't get people in the mood to talk about smashing atoms and unraveling mysteries, I don't know what will.
I think we're ready. And if everybody else is ready, without further ado, Luther, should we jump into this, brother?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Without further ado, let's dive headfirst into this particle smashing, reality bending adventure. Everyone grab your Collider cocktails and let's break some proverbial scientific ice. Here we go.
And we can dive head first because this topic, this pool in this reference is very deep, right? It's not a shallow end because let's be honest, you don't dive into shallow ends, kids.
Exactly. We're definitely in the deep end of the science pool here. And yeah, let not metaphorically belly flop into the shallow water. We're going full on deep dive. So everybody hold on to your drinks, hold on to your hats, and let's jump right in.
All right, let's start off with, I guess, what is CERN? Let's kick it to the basics, right? It's the European Organization for Nuclear Research. It's headquartered on the border of Switzerland and France. What they're most famous for is the Large Hadron Collider, the biggest and most powerful particle accelerator in the world.
Absolutely. Hitting the basics is the way to go. So yes, CERN is basically the superstar of particle physics, hanging out on the Switzerland-France border like it's the coolest science club in town. And they claim to fame the Large Hadron Collider is basically the heavyweight champ of smashing tiny particles together. So if you ever wanted to see what happens when you throw subatomic stuff at each other at near the speed of light, well, that's what they do before breakfast.
Right before breakfast, which they say is the most important meal of the day. I'm on the smoothie train these days. Ooh, but either way, I want you to picture what this place looks like because it's a massive underground ring, 17 miles in circumference, where protons are shot around nearly the light of speed, like Luther said, before they, well, smash into each other.
Exactly. It's like this giant subterranean racetrack for protons. I mean, you think your morning smoothie routine is a rush? These little particles are zooming around a 17-mile loop underground like it's the ultimate roller coaster.
Ooh, or tea, right, Luther? I know you guys are big into the tea, but it's almost like every child's dream when you get those racetracks and the cars are just going and going and going and then they smash each other and it's just this is essentially somebody that was probably what probably happened is they closed all the Toys R Us's and everybody with Toys R Us because everybody wants to be a kid and then all those big brains from Toys R Us decided to come in here. None of that happened. I'm wrong. I'm rambling. I'm sorry, Luther.
No ecology. So yeah, whether it's coffee, tea, or just pure curiosity fueling them, it's all good. And hey,
There we go. There we go. So let's travel back just a little bit to 2012 when CERN made some headlines because scientists discovered the Higgs boson, nicknamed the God particle, which isn't an Eminem song, but it probably could be because it's pretty quick. But this particle basically explained why matter has mass. Nobel Prize level stuff, literally.
they found the Higgs boson, and everyone was like, well, guess we're rewriting the textbooks today. And yeah, it's definitely Nobel Prize material. The so-called good particle isn't going to drop any beats, but it did drop some serious knowledge about why stuff in the universe has mass in the first place. So that was
Epic indeed. But, Luther, here's where things get a little interesting. While scientists say it's about understanding the building blocks of the universe, conspiracy theorists, they say it's about controlling or even rewriting the universe itself.
hey, we're just figuring out how the universe works, no big deal. And on the other side, you got the folks with the tinfoil stories at it. Because nothing spices up a good science chat like a dash of conspiracy theory. So yeah, there are definitely some folks out there who think CERN is doing a little more than just science.
Yeah, and speaking of about potentially doing a little more than science, you've probably heard of the Mandela Effect, and we've probably even done an episode on it, haven't we, Luther? It's more or less when a huge group of people share the same false memory. Like a ton of folks swear Nelson Mandela died in prison back in the 80s, but he didn't die until, well, 2013.
Is one of those perfect rabbit holes for this kind of conversation. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we've chatted about it before. It's that whole phenomenon where a bunch of people have the same vivid but totally. So whether or not that's true, it definitely makes for a fun bit of speculation.
They are definitely flipping the switch. The Bernstein Bears, that used to be a thing. I'm telling you, did the Monopoly man have a monocle? Sure did. I remember that. Did Darth Vader actually say, Luke, I am your father? Or was it, no, I am your father? Huh? That's another thing. There's so many of these. In the movie Shazam, I mean, that was a movie. We remember it. Come on, CERN. You don't really think we're dumb enough to fall for these tricks, do you?
Oh, absolutely. We're onto them. I mean, we all remember the Monopoly guy with his monocle that apparently never existed, and we're definitely sure that Sinbad was in a genie movie, right? It's all part of the fun and the mystery. And hey, maybe CERN's just sitting back with a bag of popcorn watching us try to piece it all together. But don't worry, we're not falling for it that easily. We'll keep those memories alive, monocle or no monocle.
Yeah, I know I don't have the greatest memory, but I don't think you can just chalk it up as bad memory. And, then there's the people out there that say CERN started smashing particles at insane speeds and it actually fractured timelines. Each experiment created a ripple, shifting us slightly into an alternate universe of reality.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's way more fun to imagine that they're out there fracturing timelines and nudging us into alternate realities than just saying, oh, we all just remember stuff wrong. It's like the ultimate sci-fi plot twist. Every time they fire up that collider, we all slide one universe to the left. So yeah, it's definitely a more exciting explanation than just blaming our memory. And it gives us a great excuse for why we can never find our keys.
There we go. So I guess I would say every time that you're convinced you remember something one way, but the world it's another, the theory goes that CERN messing with timelines.
Exactly. It's the perfect catch-all theory. If reality feels a bit off, just blame it on CERN and their timeline tinkering. It's like it becomes the ultimate cosmic scapegoat for all those little glitches in our collective memory. So next time you swear something used to be different, just wink and say, well, guess the particle accelerator did it again. It's a fun way to keep things interesting.
I'm going to bust that out a lot. Or just be like, hey, it's in the mix. But either way, here's where things get even weirder because outside of CERN's Geneva headquarters, there's a giant statue of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction and rebirth. The statue is a gift from India, but conspiracy theorists, Luther, they see it as symbolism, destruction, creation, cycles of the universe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're going to pick a statue to get the leaning into the old vibe of, sure, we're just casually dealing with the fundamental forces of the universe here. And for the conspiracy minded, it's perfect fodder. Destruction, creation, little
1,000%, yeah, pretend. And then Luther, that infamous video from 2016 that actually, what was it? Kind of looked like I don't know, a ritual, like a sacrifice that was being performed in front of said statue. It turned out to be a prank by employees. But let's be honest, Luther, the damage was done. The internet went wild saying CERN is really a cover for occult experiments.
Oh, absolutely. That video was like tossing gasoline, something like that. It's off to the races. Suddenly it's, oh, they're doing secret rituals at CERN, and this is proof they're opening portals to other dimensions. So yeah, the internet had a field day. And once that cat's out of the bag, it's never going back in. It just adds to the whole aura of mystery around the place.
How did the saying "cat's out of the bag" start, Luther? Because that's an interesting one.
Oh, the old cat's out of the bag phrase. Yeah, it's a fun one. It basically goes back to the idea of a sneaky surprise being revealed. One of the old stories is that it came from markets where someone would secretly swap a valuable piglet for a less valuable cat in a bag, and when the cat was let out, the trick was exposed. But really, it just turned into a great metaphor for any secret getting revealed. So it's pretty fitting for all these CERN stories too. Once the mystery's out, it's out, and everyone's running with it.
I think there's going to be a couple of people out there that are going to name their cat CERN just because of us in this episode.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if someone's looking for a cat name, cat knocking things off shelves, and you can say, well, there goes CERN messing with reality again. So yeah.
Ooh, say that 5 times fast.
Oh, you got it. Future feline physicists. Future feline physicists. Future feline physicists. Yeah, that's
Well, you made it to 3. I'm proud of you. But either way, let's go ahead and we'll kind of to cycle back a little bit. We can tie everything that we've already talked about with whispers too, because there's also whispers of Freemasons, Illuminati, secret rituals, and suddenly particle physics. And it looks less like science and more like, well, summoning.
absolutely. It all comes full circle, right? You sprinkle in a little bit of Freemason mystery, a pinch of Illuminati intrigue, and suddenly your particle physics lab looks like the. And hey, it definitely makes for a great story and a lot of fun to talk about.
Absolutely. And I don't know. In doing the research, to me, one of the biggest, I guess, fears people push about CERN is that it's not just smashing particles, it's actually tearing holes in reality.
Yeah, that's definitely one theories are so fascinating. They blend a bit of science with a whole lot of imagination and a sprinkle of what if.
What if indeed, because these theorists out there, they're saying that the collider could create micro black holes that swallow matter. Others say it could open wormholes or portals to other dimensions. Religious groups, they've actually gone as far as claiming that CERN is trying to open a gate to hell itself, unleashing demons on Earth. That's terrifying. And we haven't said it yet. Could be the script of a sci fi movie, Luther.
Plot of a blockbuster sci-fi or a horror movie just waiting to happen. You've got micro black thrill and terror all wrapped up in one big. What if they really did that? But hey, at the end of the day,
Do you think it's scientifically possible to potentially create these holes and really, I guess, unleash demons on Earth?
well, if we're talking pure science here, the consensus is not really. The kind of energies the Large Hadron Collider works with are huge on a particle level, but they're still minuscule compared to the cosmic events that happen naturally in the universe all the time. Scientists are pretty confident that creating a black hole that could actually swallow matter on any meaningful scale is way beyond what we can do. And as for unleashing demons, well, that's definitely in the realm of sci-fi and not science. So while it makes for a fantastic story, the real physics world is a bit more grounded.
You're right. You're right. Because again, what I found is a couple of articles where scientists really deny all of this. And I have to imagine that they were going to deny all of it anyways. But they say that even if micro black holes were created, they'd evaporate instantly and pose absolutely no threat. But to a lot of people, the reassurance feels, well, they don't even want me to talk about it. CERN's making me sneeze and forget what I was talking about. But I remember CERN because a lot of people feel that even though it might be as comforting, well, because it comes from a scientist, but it's really as comforting as someone saying, don't worry, the giant death laser is probably safe.
Exactly. It's a bit like having someone in a lab coat say, trust us, the giant laser is totally not going to zap anything in corn. Probably. It's understandable why people still feel a bit uneasy, because when you're dealing with something as mind-bending as particle physics, a lot of it just sounds like sci-fi to begin with. And yeah, scientists have to do their best to reassure people, but there's always going to be that little what if in the back of some folks' minds. So you're definitely not alone in that feeling.
How do scientists explain the fact that there's upticks in UFO sightings, natural disasters, and unexplained phenomena that happen pretty shortly after those CERN power ups? I mean, Luther, is it a coincidence or is it more cause and effect?
Well, scientists would generally chalk that up to coincidence, or just the human tendency to look for patterns. You know, when something as big and attention-grabbing as CERN is in the news, people start linking all sorts of unrelated events to it. It's kind of like when you buy a red car and suddenly you see red car. The collider causes UFOs or natural disasters, but it sure does make for a fun conversation.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I mean, I'm having a fun conversation with you right now, so therefore it's making for a fun conversation, right?
Offs, I'd say we're doing it right.
Let's play a little what if game, Luther, just for a quick little second. What if CERN did cause reality to glitch? Would we even know?
Oh, now that's a juicy what if. I mean, if deja vu moments. Or maybe we do suddenly remember the Berenstain Bears a little differently. So yeah, it might just feel like a little blip in the Matrix. And who knows, maybe that's already happened once or twice and we're just rolling with it. It's definitely a fun thought experiment.
I mean, the Mandela effects could be just like little breadcrumbs, little inconsistencies that don't match what we remember, but are kind of accepted as truth. And even some theorists out there, Luther, say that deja vu is another clue. Our brain remembering fragments from a parallel timeline.
Absolutely. That's a really fun way to think about it. The idea that these little Mandela effects or those deja vu moments are just tiny glitches, little hints that maybe we've hopped tracks from one timeline to another. It's like we're picking up breadcrumbs from parallel reality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of thinking, and maybe I'm wearing my tinfoil hat, but I think something is going on. There's too many of these Mandela effects, not only from my personal life, and the deja vu for me isn't overly, happening, but there's so much deja vu, there's so much breadcrumbs, and there's so many other things and too many coincidences that I'm starting to think that something really is going on, Luther.
Well, hey, I absolutely get it. Sometimes it does feel like the universe is dropping hints. What makes life interesting?
Yeah, but the thing that I guess is really unsettling for me, Luther, is what if there's just no going back? What if each time that CERN fires up, that we drift a little further from the original timeline? What if we're just stacking realities like layers of tape until no one knows what the real version is anymore? It's concerning to me. See, I like your positivity and your optimistic outlook on it, but honestly, man, for me, it's terrifying. We're allowing somebody to control the timeline. Well, I want to know all of what has really happened from the past. I want to know everything, and I feel like we have the right to know the history from what's in the Vatican archives. What's all of this stuff? Why are we hiding stuff in the timeline? Is it protect us? Maybe we really don't want to know. I mean, we could go on and on, but the buildings and the architecture and what they're finding, like, why don't we know this? Is it CERN?
Wondering what's tucked away in all those hidden archives and how much of our history we're not seeing. Feel like we're missing pieces. So it's a mix of that curiosity and a bit of that fear of the unknown. But hey, at least we can chat about it and maybe unravel a bit of the mystery together.
Yeah, and let's be honest, maybe we are living in the original world. Maybe we're not. But either way, CERN gave us a front row seat to the idea that reality isn't as stable as we thought.
Original timeline or not, the whole idea that reality might be a bit more flexible than we thought is kind of mind opening. It's interesting, right? It's like we got a front row seat to the universe's biggest mystery show. We're all just along for the ride.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, Luther, what is your thoughts? And I know you're going to probably play both sides and kind of walk along that fence and not let any cats out of any bags. But truly, what do you think? Do you think that the things and the tests that CERN is doing is potentially covering up something? Or do you think that there's a deeper scientific gain from it? Because let's be honest, if it wasn't doing something beneficial, the amount of money that's going into CERN wouldn't still be happening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get the curiosity and the suspicion, but if I had to throw in my 2 cents, I'd say it's mostly about the science. Sure, It's a massive investment and it definitely stirs up a lot of theories. But at the end of the day, the people working at CERN are pretty passionate about uncovering how the universe works. And you're right, if it wasn't producing real scientific insights, that kind of funding wouldn't stick around. So while it's fun to imagine all the wild possibilities, I'm leaning toward it being about the pursuit of knowledge more than a cover up. But hey, it's always a blast to ponder the what ifs.
It is a blast to ponder. Now, is there anywhere on the internet where myself, you, anybody listening could actually go out and see some of the scientific, real data, real information that is coming from these CERN tests, these CERN experiments?
Absolutely. If you want to dive into the real world, you can check out their official website. They've got a bunch of public resources, news updates, and your facts, right?
That's what we're here to do, in my opinion. And all right, Luther, maybe CERN is just a bunch of scientists pushing physics forward, or maybe every time they flip the switch, our universe shuffles just a little bit. But next time, you can't remember if it's Bernstein or Bernstein or Bernstein. Don't blame your memory. Blame the collider.
Exactly. At that moment, you can just say, ah, must be CERN it again. But seriously, it's a fun mix of imagination and whether it's just good old science or a little timeline shuffle, it definitely keeps things interesting.
Absolutely. And I don't know. I got nothing else. You got anything else that you want to add on this topic? Because if not, we'll let everybody get on with their day.
I think we've covered the twists, the turns, and let's let everyone get on with their day and we can leave them with a little food for thought and a smile.
Yeah, food for thought. So, all right, cool. Thanks for joining us on this trip down the particle rabbit hole. Until next time, keep questioning everything, especially reality itself.
Until next time, keep that curiosity alive and definitely keep questioning reality. Take care.
Take care, everybody.